What's up, guys? How we doing? All right, another day of a little day trading recap here, and the market is hot. I have a mosquito bite on my leg, and there's a lot of stuff going on. And I only had like an hour today before I had to go to a dentist appointment this morning. But let's go through what I got, and hopefully you can learn something. Hopefully, yeah, you can make some magic. So, anyways, these two names. Actually not SERV. It was ADIL and then AZTR, the names that are going today. I actually made no money on AZTR today because I was not even focused on it. But I have it up here on video. I'm probably going to go back through later today, maybe even just after this video, and do some mock practice trades on what I would have done with that, because that's why I like to trade stuff that I'm not as familiar with yet. So when I get into a real life situation, I have a little bit better idea on how it moves. And aside from the actual fills that I get on the stocks, the overall price action tends to move in a similar fashion, plus or minus like a surprise fill where I top ticket or something, and it kind of responds to my order. But besides those things, the let me decrease my screen size. Oh, the stocks that we had today. Come on. There we go. Okay. No, I did the wrong one. Dang, damn it. There it is. Okay. So starting off this morning, we had AZTR. This was the main guy going. I'd already started to go pre-market. People piling in, jumping the gun before the open, which is totally cool. And then I was watching personally SERV. It had an offering here. As you can see, it dropped to $2 a share, and it had started to curl back up. And what I was thinking is that the offering price was down at, I think, $6, and actually it might have been a little bit higher than that, but it was down lower, maybe 7. And then it was showing strength. I was expecting that it would just curl up and keep going higher in this situation and make a surprise move. And I could see where that idea might have been right in a situation where there was less action going on other names, because traders would have been bored. They would have been watching this name and creating more buying pressure into this stock. So that didn't happen, but we did have other stuff happen. And so this is the open here. I'll just play a little bit of this tape so you can see what actually happens at the open. You can watch the level 2 a little bit. Highly recommend filming your trades and watching just like level 2 filming, and then actually trying to like mock take positions. I don't recommend day trading. Day trading is risky. It's risky. It takes a lot of time. There could be some reward at the end, but the most people just give money to people like me, people to like really good traders. I mean, there's plenty of them on YouTube who make a lot of money, and all that money comes from new traders, probably like yourself, giving them obvious dumb positions that they can take advantage of. Also, you just give a lot of money to market makers usually too. Okay, so let's restart this and watch it one more time. Oh, okay, what's going on here? Turn down the sound. And open. I was watching it. My cursor was right there, but it had gone without me right there. And I was like, maybe if it tries to flush a little bit, I might take a trade on it. But this price range at the open can be very volatile. And I was like, okay, I'm good for now. I don't need to take it. I was watching Mira, I was watching SERV, and then I had ADIL, ADIL on another chart, which I will take over here in just a moment. But let's fast forward a little bit to where we get that. Watching SERV, nothing really happens there. Watching Mira, nothing really happens there. And then ADIL, it's the stock where I had the most profit today, had the most action on. And let's see if I can back up to when I first traded. Okay, I was over here, so it wasn't even on the. I was trading under 2. And there was a lot of buying pressure here. Oh, wow. Where was the first trade I took on this? I took. Okay, so right now we're just watching level 2. There's no charts going on. It's good practice to do, by the way. So it's in the 80s. It's got a little bit of strength. It's already popped up from the 60s or so, where it was kind of where it had opened. I was like, whatever, it might get to 2 from here. And I'm like, let's see what goes on. I take a little trade. It was still kind of in this expansion price discovery mode. I get filled at around 83 and I cover at 88 or sell at 88. And it keeps on going. And it keeps popping up. And that was for another position. Another position. And dips down here for a second. I think I take a position right here. Boom. Click it. Come on, click it. Oh, I took it way too high. And because I took it so high, I have to. If it doesn't immediately go in my direction, I really have to sell on it. So I get it at 94, and I'm like, sell. And thankfully, I sold at 93.5. Only a small loss on that. But that was an example of poor positioning, especially on the shorter time frames. Yep, just taking small cuts and then taps 2. Again, we're watching this right here. If you can see my cursor. Yeah, right over here in the top left. And I missed that. I keep wanting to go down to 90s. And a little slow on it. I'm like, where can I get in? I think I just take a trade as it pins the 2 again after all this. Maybe could have got in there, maybe there. And I get in high. I sell at I get in at 5, sell at 05 or sell at 11, and it was not the best trade. But and then I stopped trading it, and it keeps kind of going after retesting under 2, I think, for a second. Anyways, let's fast forward to some of my notes. Okay, so first note is 9:45, where I play too cautiously. All right. So it's in this kind of downward pattern right here. And then it starts to pop up. Let's see what happens. And I think it had faked me out once, and I had taken a little bit of a loss on it. Or actually, I think I was up. Never mind. I think I was up, and I just didn't want to take an L on it. And so I was being cautious and probably too cautious. And it already dipped down to 70s. And I felt it was very volatile. Hindsight, what I could have been looking at is this is the 20 SMA or 200 EMA on the daily. This purple line up here. Volume looks okay, and it's really kind of prone for an explosion if it goes. So, said all that. It's kind of just creeping up. It's not really decided on direction yet, but it's starting to. It's starting to point upwards. It's a decently strong candle, nice little back check. Could have taken a position there. I would be stopping right there, though. But I would get back in if it went lower. I want it in the 80s actually. That'd be nice. Yeah, if it goes from 92 to like maybe 88, I would probably take a position there. But it's sort of hesitating, which leaves me considering this to be one of the stocks that my positions are off on a lot of the times. And I tend to back off, especially when I have like about 2K share size in. I tend to back off in these trades. But if you look here, AZTR is just popping up, just really going. And I'm just like, okay. Even now I'm looking at it, I'm like, why am I trading this other stock? And it could have been a big mistake. It could have just like kept going down and down and down, and AZTR going up and up and up. And by the time I realized the problem, it could have just been too late, and I could have missed the opportunity. Having said that, I have no shares on, so I wouldn't have really lost money. It's just like I would not have made money. Anyways, let's see here. All right, so 42 is over there. Oh, I'm going to fast forward to 45, 43, and then now it's up at 2. Okay, so it actually does end up going. And now I'm looking to take a position. Zero conviction. So you can see it just pops back down. Good thing I missed that. Taking a little baby cut. Baby wins here. And then I'm playing cautiously. My note says I'm playing too cautiously. Well, right there, how would I have played better? I don't know. Let's back this up. Like, what would I have done? This is a notoriously, for me, common pattern, especially in slow times. Now it might be a little bit different because there is a lot of momentum to the upside and a lot of probably buyers in the market. Maybe shorts are a little bit less aggressive at first, letting it really extend. Excuse me, I seem like I'm yawning all the time on these videos. I guess, being up since 5 is whatever. It's what time is it now? 2:30, 3 o'clock. And then let's see this extension. Okay, I get a little cut. Really happy with that stop out. Not really looking to get back in, but it's kind of hesitating. So maybe getting back in there. So it was hesitating below 2 and then above 2. Getting in there. And then cutting here. And then looking at it for further. Where would I get in? Oh, come on, show me a little bit lower. Okay, get back in. Ooh, that'd be hard to stay in, but cut right there. Oh, and I would have just missed the extension. Okay, so I have a break even there. Get back in there. Ooh, this would be a dangerous spot. Dangerous. I'd be looking to cut right now. And I'd probably be coming right there. And then, yeah, and then I'd be out. I'd be flat. Okay, we're going to take another position. Is it going to give me a little flush? A flush. Buy. So I'm at 8. I buy right there, and then I have to cut immediately because that seller popped up. That's okay. But then it's back above again. I'm like, what's going on? Buy again. Nice. And I get a nice little 5-cent win there, and it keeps going. And then, wow, it just explodes. And so, like here, that was the deficiency. I was really zoned into the level 2. Very not conscious of what was going on the chart. And this is a note that I have to myself quite a bunch. If I were more conscious of what was going on the chart, I would have probably said hold till it at least hits high. And so like now if I shift my focus from just the numbers flashing on the screen, because they are very important, but I shift it and look over here, 2, okay, buy, And like, I'm like, hey, maybe you can hit. It's at 15, 14, 18, 19. Oh, and I'm cutting right there. I'm like, hallelujah, with 2K shares, that'd be about $300-400 right there. Um, yeah, fucking, it would be 12 to, actually, it would have been 11 to like 31 or so if I had the full extension of what I wanted. I doubt I would have got out at 39. I don't even know if I could have got out on the ask if I wanted to. At least not until maybe, at least not below maybe like 25, because it might have, like, it's like whenever more significant orders throw an order on the ask, and it almost always, if it's not filled immediately, it'll shift the action. So I could have tried, but like I would have had to be ready to cancel it and flip out of it on the bid. Um, yeah, day trading's risky though. So this could have gone in the other way where this popped up to 2, that dip didn't work, or that dip worked, but it was like a false high there. And let's see if we rewind and can like think of a different scenario of like what could have happened. Well, I actually do like it that it peaked higher here. It kind of peaked above this level, and then so now when it's coming back up, it's like the buyers and the short sellers have already been warned that hey, this thing could potentially go higher, and people are like ready. Like, where can I get in this thing, or where can I get out if I'm on the wrong side of it? And I also think about that as a long too. Like if stuff kind of like makes obvious creeps lower, uh, it tends to have a more expanded extension if it does extend. Sometimes, most of the time, I think, not all the time. At least there's the higher risk that if it does extend, it has a lot of buildup of people who are trapped. I think. Anyways, that's just I'm actually not quite clear empirically if that's true, but I think it might be. One of the things I'm noticing a whole bunch doing these videos is that my clarity of my thinking is being challenged. So as I speak these words into this camera, I'm forced to double check the underlying assumptions that I have on what's going on, and that is a big reason why I like it, making these videos. And I hope it helps somebody out there if you like to entertain yourself with this stuff, because this is not stock advice at all. Highly risky. Day trading is risky. Anyways, so 9:45, that was that one. 9:50. 9:50 to 10, so that's 10-minute span after 9:50. It says practice dips on ADIL and understand the price action better. Well, let's just watch that. Okay, so it keeps going higher. It's at the 200 EMA. So whenever stock is at the 200 EMA, and I think this goes to a lot of standing habits that I have, or standing, I don't even know if they're habits, they're more just parameters, where it's like, for example, like if this stock is at the 200 EMA, I slow down scalping it or whatever, because in my mind, there is a higher likelihood of reversal. But I'm saying it in like a robotic voice because it's kind of robotic for me. And the problem with that is like occasionally there are times when it calls for a reversal of those rules because context or circumstance determines other. And this may have been one of those things. I actually forget. It's been a little bit of a long morning. But let's see. This is kind of dragging. Okay. Oh, I'm starting to remember this. Keeps kind of like making these like spike highs. And now it's making a flag on a longer time frame. But this 5 minute looks like if you want to go long, you're probably trying to lose your money, and it's looking very inviting for shorts, which could be a good thing or a bad thing. Usually, wow, look at that. And then that, I totally missed that. I think. Yeah, I haven't really traded. I haven't decreased my share size. Yeah. I'm definitely questioning myself why I missed that. But looking back on it, I see the 5 minute chart looks in a certain way that I probably wouldn't have taken it under normal circumstances in a certain location, which is underneath that 200 SMA, looking like that. And so now the question is whether I take it for 3. And that's a hard one. I'm actually really wanting a pullback before that happens. And this is kind of like a fake pullback. And this is an extension, and it looks like it wants to go directly to 3. And I'm like, well, do I take a stab at it? Because I actually don't think it will go directly to 3. It's not that kind of stock. It's more like the kind of stock that stops right before a level. In this case, at 2.9 instead of 3, and then goes to 3. And it's like, how do I know that? Well, I don't know that. I mean, look, it's creeping up right there. It keeps making new highs. Actually, now it looks like it's probably going to go again. And I think I was just wrong. I think it actually does go to almost 3, if not 3. And I didn't take it right there either. It's kind of breaking through. But it's kind of tricky, though, because the action, once it gets those highs, it does this thing where it's like pressure brings it up from the lows, and it brings it up relatively quick. And then once it's at the highs, it does this kind of thing where it just like bounces 1 penny, bounces 1 penny, bounces 1 penny, and then goes back down just far enough to be really uncomfortable. And in this case, that's what, 11 cents, 12 cents, like 3 to 20 cents, so 3 to 2.79. And so it gets really uncomfortable. Forces people to stop out. And then that move, instead of being like that incremental up, it like transitions from the incremental up, bounce, bounce to flush, and then linger, and then usually lingers up and goes and does this thing where it like reclaims. And that's a brass. Wait, brass. That's the wrong word. That's a large oversimplification. That's a big oversimplification of how it actually works. And in that period, the bids are so close together, so the actual mini quote of the price of the 64 by 63 or the 71 by 73 or whatever, that quote is so small that probably the actual meaningful buyers and sellers outside that number are maybe 1 to 2 cents outside, and so you can't really tell, and so you'll probably get slippage as well unless you're buying on a flush. And so there's a lot of nuance that goes into, one, understanding directionally where the price action probably will go, and then 2, being able to position correctly once you understand where the price action will go. Or conversely, 3, if you just have cojones and you want to just sit there um, after you get a signal, no matter what the consequential price action is, and just wait for it to curl in your direction, even though you're going to take skill and understanding of like how much is enough or what is too much heat to take, or when to position if you're like want a micro scalp like someone like Mighty Stocks does, and they just keep getting it in and out of it, or uh, what is a higher likelihood 1 minute candle to give you, or what this stock specifically is doing responding to the orders, and like what happens if you get in and it looks like this, as opposed to if you get in and it looks like something else, and like where are the how do the odds change like once that happens, and that all kind of comes with ages of looking at the screen, and you just become old with wrinkles under the eyes doing it. Ah, just kidding, kind of. Um, yeah, I mean, this is a skill I chose to learn, and the skill has taken me a long time to learn, and I'll just leave it at that. Okay, so I'm gonna have to practice that later on. This whole section. Thanks for listening to my ramble on this nonsense. Let's fast forward a little bit to 1021. What happens there? And as you can see, I'm all focused on ADIL. There's a lot of stuff that happened on AZTR, especially right out of the gate. But I did not trade it at all. 1 and 2, I'm going to have to go review that stock separately from this video because, life. Definitely have to work out first. Okay, so 1020, what happens here? Okay, so I buy. Should I give me the context of where I'm buying from? Okay, so it's failing. Well, okay, failing is an exaggerated term. It is progressing lower on a 1 minute time frame into the 200 SMA or 200 EM. I buy a position there. It hesitates for a second. It's hesitating. It's hesitating. Should be at 55 if I really want it to happen. And then I cut it. And it looks like it actually might go there for a second. Sellers come in. And it keeps progressing lower. I think it just made a new micro low there, new low by a penny. And I'm watching it. I'm watching it. I'm watching it. And hop, skip, and a jump. Let's see if it can continue. All right, what do I want to watch there? Oh, my note just says good patience plus execution. Okay. All right, so apparently that's me telling me that I did an okay job there. Seems like I made the most money on this one when I. Huh. When near the open when the it was on my other chart. Sometimes that happens at the open. Hmm. I don't know. I think I trade this here. Yeah, Let's see where I take the position on serve. I don't know if this is actually profitable. All right, I'm waiting right here for it to dip below the $0.50 because I have had experience to where it likes to do that before it likes to do everything else, but it doesn't look like it wants to. Oh, pop, hesitate, cut, then it kind of creeps up higher. Pop. It'd been so nice to hold that extra $100 on the day. Whatever. Oh. Oh man. And if you guys haven't seen it, check out how Marcello did over at Mighty Stocks. Fantastic today. I think it was up like 13K or something. Really solid day. He was trading the other stock, whatever. The other one that was right here. And out of the halls with very decent size, I suppose to say. Very decent. Anyways, that's about it for the day. I will see you guys mañana. Peace.